Hello, welcome to the webinar. My name is Dr. Pamela Frank. I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I'm here tonight. We want to talk about probiotics. Our bodies contain trillions of microorganisms. In fact, some scientists estimate the bacterial cells outnumber human cells by 10 to 1. While this sounds kind of scary, you should know that many of these microorganisms actually help our bodies to function properly. Bacteria help break down food, they destroy disease-causing microorganisms, and they produce vitamins. Many of the microorganisms in probiotic supplements are similar to the microorganisms that naturally exist in our bodies. They're sold as supplements in pill form, can be used topically in skin creams, and also exist naturally in foods. There's a lot to know about probiotics, and I'm here to break it down for you. Nobel laureate Eli Metchnikoff introduced the concept of probiotics in the early 20th century. He is known as the father of probiotics. He was the first to propose that consuming beneficial microorganisms could improve people's health. Research continued to investigate this idea, and the term probiotics eventually came into use. Probiotics contain a variety of microorganisms, but the most common ones belong to groups called Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium. Each of these groups include many types of bacteria, or many different strains of bacteria. Probiotics have a variety of effects on your body and can affect different people differently. However, these are some of the ways that probiotics might work. Number one, by maintaining a more desirable and balanced community of microorganisms in your gut. Number two, by stabilizing the digestive tract's barrier against undesirable microorganisms or producing substances that will inhibit their growth. And number three, by outcompeting these undesirable microorganisms. Are probiotics safe? Well, in generally healthy individuals, probiotics have a good safety record, and side effects, if they occur at all, usually consist of mild digestive symptoms. However, if you have an underlying medical problem, have recently had surgery, or have a weakened immune system, you should check with your naturopathic doctor before beginning a probiotic regimen. A large meta-analysis or review of 35 studies found that certain strains of probiotics can reduce the duration of infectious diarrhea by an average of 25 hours. It was also found that probiotics reduced the risk for travelers' diarrhea by 8% and lowered the risk of diarrhea from other causes by 57% in children and 26% in adults. This might not seem intuitive, but increasing number of studies link gut health to mood and mental health. Both human and animal studies have shown that probiotic supplements can improve mental health disorders such as anxiety, depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and more. Some research has found that certain probiotic strains may reduce the severity of eczema in children and infants. One study found that the children of women who took probiotics during pregnancy had an 83% lower risk of developing eczema in the first 2 years of life. Because probiotics can inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria, it may also help give your immune system a boost. An extensive review found that taking probiotics reduces the likelihood and the duration of respiratory infections. Another found that children taking a strain called Lactobacillus GG reduced the frequency and severity of respiratory tract infections by 17%. Taking probiotics might help with weight loss through a number of different mechanisms. Some probiotics prevent the absorption of dietary fat in the intestines, excreting it through the stool rather than having it stored in your body. Some can help you feel fuller longer, resulting in more calories burned and less fat stored. In one study, dieting women who took Lactobacillus rhamnosus for 3 months lost 50% more weight than women who didn't take a probiotic. Another study of over 200 people found that taking even low doses of Lactobacillus gasseri for 12 weeks resulted in an 8.5% reduction in belly fat. Take note that not all probiotics aid in weight loss. Some studies have even found that certain probiotics, such as Lactobacillus acidophilus, may even lead to weight gain. We've touched on probiotics now, but have you ever heard of prebiotics? The most straightforward way to describe prebiotics is as fiber. However, a more accurate description is that they're a non-digestible fiber, meaning it isn't broken down by your gut. Instead, it passes to the colon or is fermented to feed gut bacteria. In other words, prebiotics are a food source for your good bacteria that probiotics bring to the table and can help them survive and thrive in your gut. These days, kombucha is everywhere. This popular drink is made from black or green tea that has been fermented by a friendly colony of bacteria and yeast. Have you ever tried kombucha? Let me know in the comments. Yogurt is one of the best forms of probiotics as the process of making yogurt consists of fermenting milk with friendly bacteria. When choosing a yogurt, look for those long Greek names of live cultures listed as ingredients. Also, make sure to choose a yogurt that's low in sugar. Closely related to yogurt is kefir, a fermented probiotic drink that contains both friendly bacteria and yeast. Better yet, if you're lactose intolerant, you can probably still handle kefir, so give it a try. Fun fact, the word kefir allegedly comes from the Turkish word keyif, which means feeling good after eating. Fermented cabbage has been eaten for centuries all over the world, and for good reason. Both sauerkraut and kimchi can bring tons of health benefits. Sauerkraut, a European staple, is a probiotic rich in fiber as well as vitamins C, B, and K. Additionally, it contains iron, manganese, and antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin. Kimchi, sauerkraut's cousin from the east, is a spicy Korean side dish. It's made from a mix of seasonings such as red chili pepper flakes, garlic, ginger scallion, and salt. It contains the lactic acid bacteria Lactobacillus kimchi, as well as other lactic acid bacteria that can benefit your digestive health. Have you ever tried tempeh? It's a fermented soybean product that's formed into a patty and is used worldwide as a high-protein meat supplement. Through the fermentation process, soybeans are broken down to lower the amount of phytic acid, a compound that impairs your absorption of minerals like iron and zinc, so that it provides the body with probiotics as well as vitamin B12. You're likely familiar with miso soup, but did you know that it contains probiotics, protein, and fiber, as well as vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds such as vitamin K, manganese, and copper? In Japan, miso soup is typically consumed at breakfast time. To incorporate some into your diet, buy it as a paste and create a broth to sip. You're likely to be prescribed antibiotics to treat bacterial infections like strep throat or an open wound. While antibiotics play an essential role in treating severe diseases, they can also come with adverse side effects. Antibiotics kill all the bacteria in your body, both the good ones and the bad ones. This includes the microbes that are helping your body operate. How? Because in addition to killing disease-causing bacteria, antibiotics can destroy healthy bacteria too, which drastically affects the amounts and types of bacteria in your gut. In fact, only 1 week of antibiotics can change the makeup of the gut microbiota for up to 1 full year. Take a probiotic during and after an antibiotic dose to help restore some healthy bacteria that have been destroyed. Just remember that probiotics are bacteria too, so they can be killed by antibiotics if they're taken together. Try taking your antibiotics and your probiotics a few hours apart. Everyone's gut microbiome is unique, which means that some of the effects that probiotics have on one person may not be present the same way in someone else. Based on the balance of bacteria in your gut, you might react differently to foods like kimchi and kombucha. You may not feel results after your first bottle of probiotics. Keep in mind that most of what we discussed today are not steadfast rules that apply to every person. Your journey to better health and a more balanced gut is personal to you. When you decide to pick out a probiotic, picking the right one can make a world of difference. Keep these tips in mind as you're standing in your local health food store. Always choose a probiotic with at least 10 billion live organisms per dose. Keep in mind that the probiotic should ensure in writing that you'll continue to receive this number throughout the expiry date on the product. If it says that it guarantees X billion or 10 billion at time of manufacture, that's a bad probiotic. Look for probiotics with a wide array of different bacteria. The most excellent products can contain up to 14 different strains. We covered a lot today. Taking probiotics on an empty stomach is a bit controversial. The thinking being that on an empty stomach there may not be stomach acid present, but your stomach secretes acid all the time, even when it's empty. So taking it with food actually is sometimes a better option because the food helps to neutralize some of that acid, which makes it easier on the good bacteria. Although Lactobacillus acidophilus actually likes an acidic environment, so it may not be that big a concern. However, I would usually have people take probiotics with food, not on an empty stomach. We covered a lot of material. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you're curious about? If so, please share that in the comments. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this webinar. I've covered a lot and I loved chatting with you. I hope that you learned something or you got something useful out of our time together. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email me at pfranknd@forcesofnature.ca, or you can call me directly at 416-481-0222. Again, that's it for today. Call me anytime at 416-481-0222. You can email me at pfrank, N like Nancy, D like David, at forcesofnature.ca, or you can visit my website at naturopathtoronto.ca. Again, my name is Dr. Pamela Frank. I'm a licensed naturopathic doctor in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I would love to talk to you.